Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining me for this 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 892 of our trek, and time for our 3-minute mini-trek called Humor Unplugged. Our Thursday podcast will provide a short and clean, funny story to help you to lighten up and live a rich and satisfying life. Something to cheer you and provide a bit of levity in your life. We are told in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 30, a cheerful look brings joy to the heart. Good news makes for good health. We are also encouraged in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. Consider this your vitamin supplement of cheer for today. So let's jump right in with today's funny, which is titled, Allergic to Gravity. Today I want to tell you a story about John and Sam. John's story reminds me a lot about myself and the attitudes that I try to have. There are also many similarities between my fall from the ladder last year with a chainsaw in my hand, where I ended up with a fractured femur bone right below the hip socket. For many, John was the kind of guy that you love to hate. He always seemed to be in a good mood and always had something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he is doing, he would reply, "If I were any better, I'd be twins." He was a natural motivator. If a fellow associate was having a bad day, John was telling them how to look on the positive side of the situation. Seeing this style really made Sam curious. So one day he went up and asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How do you do it?" John replied, "Each morning I wake up and say to myself, you have 2 choices today. You can choose to be in a good mood or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim or I can choose to learn from it. I choose to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining or I can point out the positive side of life. I choose the positive side of life." "Yeah, right. That's not that easy," Sam protested. "Yes, it is," John said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to your situations. You choose how people affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or bad mood. The bottom line is, it's your choice how you live your life." Sam reflected on what John had said. But soon after that, Sam left the company that they both worked at to start his own business. They lost touch over the years, but Sam often thought about John when he made choices about life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, Sam heard that John was involved in a very serious accident, falling some 60 feet from a communications tower. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, he was released from the hospital with rods placed in his back. Sam happened to run into John about 6 months after the accident. When Sam asked him how he was, he replied, "If I were any better, I'd be twins. Want to see my scars?" Sam declined to see the wounds, but he did ask him what had gone through his mind when the accident took place. This was John's reply. "The first thing that went through my mind was the well-being of my soon-to-be-born daughter," John replied. "Then as I lay there on the ground, I remembered that I had 2 choices. I could choose to live or I could choose to die. I chose to live." "Weren't you scared? Did you lose consciousness?" Sam asked. John continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me that I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the ER, and I saw the expressions on the faces of the doctors and nurses, I got really scared. In their eyes, I read, 'He's a dead man.' I knew I needed to take action." "What did you do?" Sam asked. "Well, there was this big burly nurse shouting questions at me," John said. "She asked me if I was allergic to anything." "Yes," I replied. The doctors and nurses suddenly stopped working and waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and yelled, "Gravity!" Over the laughter, I told them, "I'm choosing to live. Operate on me as if I'm alive, not dead." Well, John did live, thanks to the skills of the doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. Let us all learn from John that every day we have a choice to live fully. As Jesus tells us in John chapter 10, verse 10, "The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give you a rich and satisfying life." And also in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. Well, that's the end of this short story, so make it a day full of cheer. As we conclude, let me leave you with Thursday's thought. The easiest way to grow wise and good is to be around people who are wiser and better than you. And that's a wrap for today's Humor Unplugged. If you enjoy these short stories, let me know so I can continue to bring you a bit of cheer for your week. And just as you enjoy these nuggets of humor, please encourage your friends and family to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 891 treks or read the Wisdom Journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. And I encourage you to subscribe to Wisdom Trek on Apple Podcasts or Google Play so that each day will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow for Philosophy Friday.